Good day, sir. I am Mika Alamuego together with my co-presenters, Mr. Longas and Mr. Vital, and we are going to discuss the barangay as a venue for community, government, and dispute settlement. So the barangay is the foundation of our local government system. It's where the government services are directly felt by the people. So each barangay is led by barangay captain along with kagawad or councilors. The barangay is the smallest administrative division in the Philippines and serves as the primary unit for implementing government policies and programs at the grassroots level. So it is composed of a punong barangay or barangay captain who acts as the chief executive and a group of kagawads or council members who form the legislative body. This structure ensures that the needs and concerns of local community are directly making the barangay the foundation of local governance in the Philippines. The second is Sangguniang Barangay. So Sangguniang Barangay is a legislative body at the barangay level, enacts ordinances and resolutions, and approves the barangay budget. It also implements projects for the welfare and the community. So the Sangguniang Barangay is the legislative body. It enacts ordinances and resolutions that govern the barangay. They also approve the annual budget and ensure that projects are implemented for the community's welfare. The Sangguniang Barangay functions as a legislative branch at the barangay level, responsible for enacting ordinances and resolutions that govern the community. So this council is tasked with approving the annual budget, implementing development projects, and ensuring the welfare of constituents. By creating and enforcing local laws, the Sangguniang Barangay plays a crucial role in maintaining order, promoting progress, and addressing the specific needs of the barangay, making it a vital component of government.
Good day, sir. I'm Giancarlo Ilongas from Block 4N, and today I will be discussing about the Section 399 and Section 388. First, the Section 399, Lupong Tagapamayapa A. There is hereby created in each barangay a Lupong Tagapamayapa, hereinafter referred to as the Lupon, composed of the punong barangay as chairman and then 10 to 20 members. The Lupon shall be constituted every 3 years in the manner provided herein. So sa first nato sa letter A is kani daw Lupong Tagapamayapa is every barangay na daw ni. Then the punong barangay will act as the chairman of the Lupong Tagapamayapa. Then napod ni 10 to 20 members, and 3 years, every 3 years ma-change ni sila ang mga members. Then letter B, in any person actually residing or working in the barangay not otherwise expressly disqualified by the law and possessing integrity, impartiality, independence of mind, sense of fairness, and the reputation for probity may be appointed a member of the Lupon. So there's a letter B is mao ni kibali ang qualification para ikaw mahimo ka member as a Lupon or member sa Lupong Tagapamayapa. Then sa letter C, a notice to constitute the Lupon which shall include names of proposed members who have expressed their willingness to serve shall be prepared by the punong barangay within the first 15 days from the start of his terms of office. Such notice shall be posted in 3 conspicuous places in barangay continuously for a period of not less than 3 weeks. So sa letter C is sa pag-start daw ng term ng punong barangay is magkuhan daw sila magbutang sila ng mga names na na-propose sa iya para mga na-propose na mga names para sa mga gusto mahimo member ng Lupong Tagapamayapa. Then D, the punong barangay taking into consideration in any position to the proposed appointment or any recommendation for appointments as may have been made within the period of posting shall within 10 days thereafter appointment as members those whom he determines to suitable therefore. Appointment shall be in writing signed by the punong tagapamayapa. So sa letter D, after daw ma-post ng punong barangay, ma-post ng punong barangay, direkibal sa letter D is recognize na kung kinsara daw tong mga taga-recommend ng mga tao or kinsa tong gusto or willing mag-serve sa lupong tagapamayapa. Then sa letter E, last, the list of appointed members shall be posted in 3 conspicuous places in the barangay for the entire duration of their term of office. So sa letter E is katong list na nakuha na mahimo members as lupong tagapamayapa or as lupon is i-post to sa tulo ka space na naa sa barangay ka ng daghang tao. Then i-post ni entire duration ng ila terms, so entire 3 years kibali. So sa section 388, persons in authority for purposes of the revised penal code, the punong barangay, sangguniang barangay, and members of lupong tagapamayapa in each barangay shall be deemed as persons in authority. Their jurisdiction while other barangay officials and members who may be designated by the law or ordinance and charged with the maintenance of public order, protection and security, life and property, or the maintenance of desirable and balanced environment. So there is a section 388. Section 388. So ang punong barangay or the barangay captain, there's a person. Section 388, persons in authority, kibaldari is tag-identify kung kinsara tong mga persons in authority sa ato barangay, which is the punong barangay or the barangay captain, sanggun ni ang barangay members or barangay councilors, and then the members of the lupong tagapamayapa. That's all, sir. Thank you.
So, good morning everyone. My name is Alvin Ibital. I am here to discuss a barangay ordinance. Barangay ordinance is a rule that everyone in the barangay must follow. It's like a small law that helps keep the community organized. These rules can cover things like curfew hours, cleanliness, noise control, and waste management, and other concerns that affect daily life in the barangay. So, the purpose of barangay ordinance is to solve local problems quickly because the barangay leaders understand the needs of their community better than anyone else. Once the ordinance is approved by the barangay captain and the councilor, it becomes official and must be followed by all residents.